Hello and welcome to Hello, welcome to episode 4. God damn it. Hi, welcome to episode 4 of Why Are You Like This? We've been doing this for a month now.
Yeah.
This is a month.
This is a month.
I gotta say, the feedback has been really good. I'm gonna be honest. I was expecting, I didn't expect it to flop necessarily. I mean, why would we go in and do that? sorry. But
I was expecting this to be shit.
Oh, well, she didn't tell me that, just for the record. No, we've had some really good feedback. People have said that they've enjoyed listening to it, driving to work or on the bus, commuting. Last week was an hour-long episode, and we had some pretty good conversations. Yeah,
we did.
So I'm excited for the next month and to see where this goes, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2-month-long trial. So we're halfway through when this episode comes out. So that's cool. Based on the feedback, it's looking pretty good. It's looking like this may be a thing coming up, which is very exciting. It's very cool.
A gestures vaguely thing.
Gestures.
I'm excited. Yeah. Let's go. Episode 4.
Woo!
So how you doing?
I'm good. It's getting hot. It's getting warm.
It's happening.
I'm not loving it.
What
have a
degrees?
It's only like, hang on, let's consult the weather app.
Okay,
bearing in mind it's like 8:30 in the evening here. It's 17 degrees.
That's disgusting for me.
For 8:30 in the evening, it's disgusting.
No,
I have like a portable AC unit that's trying its best that you have to fill with like cups of water to try and keep it going.
Yep.
And bless it, it's doing its damn best. But with my PC under my desk, that's a big boy that kicks out quite a lot of heat, and then 2 monitors and then lighting. It's fucking warm in here.
Yep.
So,
and this is only May.
If you see me streams and like podcast episodes coming up just looking more and more disheveled and just like it's because I'm not built for the heat.
No.
Even when I was a skinny bitch, I was not built for the heat.
No, me neither. At no point in my life have I been like a big fan of the heat. Actually, most of my life I've evaded it. Summer camp, you find me under any tree in any little small space of shade possible because I burn so easily. Plus, multiple times they had to call an ambulance to send me to the hospital for heat stroke. It was the most embarrassing thing in the world. Oh, there she goes again.
I used to get like really, really bad like heat rash, but like ridiculously bad heat rash, and I still do get it. But it's got to the point where if I would just step outside and I'd like break out in hives, and what somebody once said to me, they went, "Oh my god, you're so white, you're allergic to the sun," and I was like,
kind
yes, absolutely. Listen, when I was born ginger, like bright orange hair, and I still have red undertones to my hair, and you can't tell because I don't go outside. I'm a very freckly person. Like, if I do actually start venturing and touching grass, you'll see as the, like, episodes go on, you'll be able to put a side-by-side of my face just filling in. Because people go, "Oh, you have got a tan." I'm like, no, that's the brown of my freckles just connecting together, giving you the illusion that my face is tan. It's not. It's just freckles.
We are very similar, Sextra, because that's the same thing with me my whole life. It's never been really a tan. It's just been Freckle Town. My dad's a redhead, so he's got...
Freckle Town. Come on down, Freckle Town.
Sorry. Why did we both do that to Butter Barn? Because
you've been playing Butter Barn so often that it's now
song.
Ingrained in my brain.
Is
it?
Song.
Is it?
It's
or do you just like
Butter
it?
Barn. Yeah, it's really
I prefer
good.
that to the Christmas one.
There's
the loot in the mountains.
I won't sing it. It's fine. Anyway, yeah, freckles. I get lots of freckles. I have ever told you the story about there are 2 small islands off the coast of Newfoundland where I grew up. Not on the islands, but in Newfoundland, and they're owned by France. Do you know about this?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Saint Pierre and Miquelon. And we went there as like a school trip one day to like experience Europe, but not Europe. And they had like they have like European cars and currency.
It's like,
the
Mom,
euro.
we have Europe at home, and it's just these like places in Canada.
Exactly, and they all speak French. And I was like 14 or something, and I wore like a little V-neck like collared shirt or something, and we walked around this little tiny island, St. Pierre, for the whole day. I got so sunburnt that I was blistered. Like my whole face was blistered. This V was blistered on my chest, and I went home and my parents were like, "Oh my goodness, what happened to you?"
What?
And I was so young, and you're kind of like ignorant when you're 14. And I remember like 2 days later, the blisters were still kind of there, and things were just it was not looking good. And I went up to my dad and I was crying, and I was like, "Dad," he's like, "Yeah, Candace." I'm like, "Is this forever?" And he was like, "No, sweetie, you'll be fine." But it was so
bless
bad.
your heart.
I thought that I had like permanent scarring from the like So the son and I don't get along great, but I'm very lucky that
forever.
Brandon's parents put air conditioning unit, like a central air in a few years ago, because this house gets sauna hot. We already had a heat wave here in Victoria this past weekend. It's not even summer yet, so
It's global warming, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's global warming, isn't
In
it?
it.
Yeah, no,
right?
with you did.
I'm learning. See,
you are learning.
Yeah.
No, with the triangle thing, I used to have the same, but with freckles, because I used to have. You're gonna immediately understand. I used to have bangs that went like this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So only this portion of my forehead was visible to the sun. So I would get like harsh line triangle of freckles on my forehead. And so I wouldn't like scrape my hair back, and my mum would be like, "You're really warm," and I just like lift up my fringe and I just have like this triangle.
That's not how you
of, like,
contour.
freckles. Genuinely, I was like, it was ridiculous. I had, yeah, the sun sucks. This room's very well insulated because it used to be a garage or a garage.
A garage.
A garage.
I like it.
Before it got turned into a room, and when it did, it originally was somewhere for my late grandfather. He lived with us, and he lived in this space. Old man, right? He was like 90, so we were like, "Oh, we'll keep it warm. Make sure you like put a lot of insulation in there, because it's like it was just like a one skin of brick, because it was just a garage. It was just supposed to be what your car goes."
Right.
So they put in a lot of insulation, and it faces out into the street, so the sun shines directly on the front windows for like a good portion of the day, and so it ends up feeling like I'm cooking. Yeah, it's like being in a greenhouse. Wow. Like huge. At least there's like you get like a lot of nice light, because there's like a big windows at the front, but it gets fucking warm. Not as warm as upstairs in this house though, because obviously heat rises, and so that was worse when I was up there, when I was like streaming in my first year of streaming, and it started to get like really warm summers, and I literally just start the stream with like the camera like this close to my face, like, "I'm hot. I'm here.
Don't fuck with me today."
Just don't fuck. People go, "I can hear your fan on your microphone." I'm like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with it. All right, the fan is going. You're gonna hear it. Okay, just get in the boat and row."
I have this that has a USB thingy. You can plug it to the back of your keyboard if you have a USB thing, and it.
Oh my god!
And it blows. Yeah,
that's checking keyboard. That's adorable.
That was before we had air conditioning, because again, like I would literally get in I had a Corolla, Toyota Corolla. It was a 91, 1 year older than I am. And I would get in that car with no air conditioning and just roll the windows down and drive around and eat the gas, because it was cooler than sitting at home and dying in just sweltering heat. But honestly, the worst experience with heat I've ever had, and you probably experienced something similar, but Australian heat. It'll be 40 degrees and someone walks by me in a turtleneck, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" This is a farce.
They are ridiculous over there. Like my family would message me, because I'd be like complaining on Facebook or something. I was like 12, and I was like, "It's so hot," and my auntie on Australia would be like, "It was 50 degrees here today."
Yeah, shut up.
And I was like, "Okay, good for you. It's like 17 here, and I'm warm." Like, I just get very agitated in the heat. I think everyone does. My mum is fine. My mum ends up looking Greek in the summer, or like Turkish. Like she tans, and she tans because she's got like a slightly olive complexion naturally. And so she just tans, and then there's me and my dad, like pasty as fuck, just like red undertones, just like burn. And I'll be like, "Did you put on sunscreen?" And it's like, "Yeah, constantly. It doesn't help. It's out to get us.
I have like distinct memories because we used to go to Florida for my dad's job when we were kids. My two younger sisters and I, and like our whole family. And we'd go swimming in the pool, and we'd have sunscreen on and everything, but it didn't matter. We'd still get burnt. And I have, a distinct memory of my sisters and I all lying across like the hotel room beds in our bathing suits, and then my mom spraying the like aloe cooling spray like in the air just so like it goes all over us. So we're like, yeah. Yeah.
I became the mum friend. Like me and my friend Hannah, we went to Bulgaria a few Mays ago. On holiday, and we stayed in this hotel, and because it was like off season, because we couldn't afford to go like during like actual peak times, you know, when everything was actually open and it was like sunny. So we went, but it was still like really hot. It was like 30 degrees, even though it was cloudy a lot of the days. So we were like getting burnt, but because the hotel wasn't very busy, they upgraded our room for free, and it had a tiny little mini fridge in it. So then one day, like we were going out to the beach, and I was like, all right, and I'd bought this bottle of After Sun, like aloe vera gel, and I was like, I'm just gonna put this in the mini fridge while we go out. Came back burnt, and I was like, ha ha, but wait, pulled it out of the mini fridge, and it was like ice cold. And I just remember like my friend Hannah just like laying on the bed, like on her front, and me just like putting someone and her just going, oh, that's very cold, but it's very nice, but it's also very cold. And just like laying there. Because the sun's not our friend.
No, it's not, and that's okay.
And we stay inside, and it doesn't get any better, but that's okay.
My friends who love the sun, they like, one second, my eyeball, it's been, I don't know, I think it's allergies.
Yeah, another thing with the bloody heat.
Yes,
allergies,
flowers. Oh my god, how
and
old are
bugs.
Hi,
you've tuned into
the bugs and the butterflies.
2 8-year-olds. You know the Muppets? the two old man Muppets that like sit up in the gallery and they just complain about everything and then laugh at their own jokes. That's us.
I don't remember their names. Walford and Grimley or something. Wilford. I need to know their names.
You just
now.
pulled those names out of your ass.
I
didn't
did
you?
pull them out of my ass. Hold on, I'm gonna look them up. Old men puppets.
What? Careful with that search. Muppets, yeah.
Statler and Waldorf.
Okay. Grimly came out of nowhere.
I was just trying to think of, I don't know what I was trying to do. I'm embarrassed.
No.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm just so happy I don't have to experience Australian heat. The more I think about it, like, the beach, sure, it was nice, but it was so hot that, like, you get in the car, you can't touch anything. You can't touch your steering wheel. God forbid you touch your buckle, the metal part. You can, like, literally blister your hand from the heat. My parents' house had, like, not like a swimming pool, but like a wading pool. Like, you can get in, and it's up to, like, your waist, kind of, and it's very small, but it's enough just to get a dip in, right? And my mom, she'd keep coming out and being like, are you okay, Candace? And I'm like, no, I'm not. And I'm like up to my neck in water, just sitting there for the majority of the day, waiting for the day to pass. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just glad it doesn't get that hot here, usually.
Yeah.
Usually.
Last summer was a trip. Last summer was awful.
It's getting bad.
Yeah. Speaking of sunshine, though, everybody, this is a med check. If you take vitamin D, and if you feel like you might have a vitamin D deficiency, talk to somebody about it, because it really helps. And if you don't go outside much like us, we take them in small jelly form.
Jelly form, get your D every day. It's like a little treat. I'm supposed to take 5 of them a day, according to my doctor, because I don't get sunshine.
How much vitamin D deficiency do you have?
Apparently a lot. I need 5,000 units of vitamin D a day, according to whatever blood tests were done.
Mine's 1,000, and I'm only supposed to take 1 a day.
I don't leave my house very frequently.
No. That's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I've also heard that there's like certain things where you would get vitamin D like in different foods and stuff, and they've been removing vitamin D from milk and different this is speculation, things I've heard online that apparently vitamin D doesn't come in
Get your tinfoil hats, everybody.
Get ready. Speaking of tinfoil, I don't think they wear tinfoil hats. Do you know the Wiggles? Do they wear tinfoil hats? They wear hats, right? Beep beep. Okay,
yes,
I didn't say that.
No, we're keeping that in. No, we're keeping that in.
Shit.
New conspiracy Coming to you in 2023,
The
the Wiggles. Do they wear tinfoil hats?
I think they do.
But I do know the Wiggles, yes.
Okay, they're British, right?
I believe
Fruit
so.
salad. That's
Salad.
British. Yummy,
Yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're British.
They have to be British.
They're British.
So there's a new purple Wiggle. I grew up, I knew them, I used to watch them because I couldn't sleep at night, so it would just like be on at my friend's house while I'm sleeping over, and I remember just being like, what is my life while watching it? But you know, it's kind of hypnotizing. They're there,
Yeah.
and they're talking about colors and animals and yeah,
Shapes.
numbers.
Big up the Wiggles.
Right.
Great lads.
I never looked at the Wiggles and went before, but Purple Wiggle, man, Purple Wiggle, his name is John Pierce, and he is was a part of the band The Justice Crew, I think, from Australia. It rang a bell to me, but I don't remember any songs by them. And I don't know if you want to insert a picture when you're editing or whatever, but
Sure.
let's just say TikTok is
Here is
oh, don't knock him.
Here is sorry, Purple Wiggle Man. I'm terribly sorry.
He has a name, it's John.
He's sorry, John. He's insert Purple Wiggle Man.
So he has a TikTok, and he has a TikTok where he's reacting to people's comments of him because he is like tatted up, muscular, and just kind of not what you would expect out of a Wiggle. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think you sent me a picture. Let me
did.
peruse the Wiggle Man.
I put it in the Discord too. He has a brother, twin brother, who doesn't really look
I
like
love how
him.
you say that like you have a chance. The Purple Wiggle's got a twin brother.
We both have a chance.
Both of
I
us
didn't mean
in
it like
happy
that.
relationships. Like, but the Purple Wiggle.
Yeah,
come
we're
on.
both in relationships. Sorry. Look at him. I'm just kidding. Not to objectify him, but also
I was gonna say, is that where we come? Are we objectifying the
we're in a
Wiggles?
patriarchy. I think we're okay. Like
Well, yeah,
maybe
that's
not.
fair.
I don't know.
Well, no.
Let us know in the comments. Are we objectifying this Wiggle? What?
I love how you said this Wiggle, making it a single Wiggle. Like each of the Wiggles is a single Wiggle.
I'm a Wiggle.
Oh. He's singular Wiggle.
Just one.
Adopt a Wiggle today.
Oh my god.
For $9.99, you can have the Purple Wiggle in your home.
That sold. Apparently, there's a bunch of drama in the Wiggle town, in the Wiggle life.
There's drama in Wiggle Town? What's happened?
All right, so the yellow Wiggle, she, from what I understand, like carries the team. Apparently, she's like the only. Yeah.
There's female Wiggles.
There's
now?
a female Wiggle. You can look her up too. I forget her name. It's like Ellie or something.
Back in my day, there was only male Wiggles.
Only man's Wiggle. By the way, if you don't know who the Wiggles are, we probably should tell you. They're like a kid.
Oh, it was a kids show. Of like
Teletubbies, but people.
When in my day, they were primary colored. No, they weren't. The men weren't primary colored. They wore primary colored T-shirts. Each of them had a different primary color, and together they were the Wiggles. And they'd sing little songs about shapes and colors. And you probably know fruit salad. Like I think most people know fruit salad.
Yeah, I think they're Australian.
That would make
They're Australian.
We got a lot of Australian. Like we had a show called High Five over here,
I've seen
which
High
was
Five.
Yeah, they were Australians and they were shown a lot on British TV.
Oh,
The kids.
there's a lot of lore. The new Wiggles era.
Stop it.
There's a lot of lore. I'm looking at their Wikipedia page. It's a lot.
To be fair, they've done that with a lot of kids' cartoons, though. Like, are you aware of Bob the Builder
Yes.
and how he can fix it?
Yes, he can. Yeah.
Correct. I was willing you to finish that properly.
I'm glad.
They redrew Bob the Builder. They
Wait.
reanimated him.
What's he look like now?
Weird.
Hold on, I'm looking it up. I need to know. Bob the Builder. 2022.
I will insert new Bob.
Oh no, he looks like a man now. Wait.
Uh-huh.
Why wouldn't he be the little weird animated dude with the
Yeah.
beady little eyes? He has pupils now. What?
Yeah, they made him look too real. I don't like
it.
him.
Uncanny Valley time. Yep.
Yeah.
He's got real smooth skin. I don't like it.
He's got a real smooth skin. I don't trust him.
I don't trust him with that skin. No.
They redid Bob the Builder. I know a couple of years ago as well, the Teletubbies had babies.
They can reproduce.
Exactly. So it was like the Teletubby babies. It was a whole TV show on its own. But then that brings into the question of the Teletubbies fucking, and I don't like that.
I think they are. If they had babies, I mean, it only stands to reason. Oh,
this is Goofy
babies.
all over again.
This is Goofy. Oh God.
It's like that, like, you either die a hero or you live long enough for your children's cartoons to start reproducing.
Oh,
that's what it is. I know.
Did you see that the baby in the sun has a TikTok now?
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's like 20 or something. I don't know. Oh God. Oh, what a time to be alive. But yeah, apparently Yellow Wiggle was like married to this guy, to this purple wiggle we were talking about, and then they got he ended up meeting a ballet dancer on set at the Wiggles and then married her instead, and they're very happy together. I don't know. That's what Destiny told me last night.
Infidelity among the Wiggles. Is the Yellow Wiggle still a Wiggle?
I think
Does she still wiggle?
I think she still wiggles. I think Emma is her name. Yeah.
She's still
Emma Watkins.
She still wiggles with the wiggle that she once wiggled.
I'm gonna Google this. Emma and John Wiggle drama.
Emma and John Wiggle. As if it's that last name.
Inside the Wiggles love triangle dating scandals. Oh my God. Yeah, it's a thing. I'm gonna read that after. Anyway.
Wow.
We're ruining the childhood shows today, friends. Bob the Builder's too smooth. We got baby Teletubbies, and there's a love triangle for the Wiggles.
We're sorry. I'll be. No, I'm not.
No.
Do you know, if I had to learn this information, then so do you, and you deal with it.
We are currently doing what we said we'd do. We are on the search for why are we like this, and we're no closer than we were on episode 1. So.
No, it has been a month, and if anything, I'm learning more about each other and concluding that there is still so much wrong.
There's much things. But you know what?
Many.
I think it adds a little je ne sais quoi to the mix.
What does je ne sais quoi mean?
I don't know what. It adds a little. I don't know, a little something. Yeah.
The French language loves like ways to basically go. Like, how are you feeling, boff? Like, it's just. I love the French language so much.
Comme ça. Oh, nice.
Indecisive group of people.
Yeah.
Created a whole language. Like, I remember I was doing French in school, and I had a speaking exam where I had to, like, in accent, like, relay this, like, paragraph or something to my teacher, and, like, they would mark me on my pronunciation and stuff like that. And she went, the most important thing, if you pause because you're thinking of what to say next, pause in French. And I was like, what do you mean pause in French? She was like, well, instead of saying say and I was like, I mean, make that noise like, you know, the true like and she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
It works.
Yeah,
it's a good tip, honestly. If you're watching and you're French, sorry.
I'm so sorry. Terribly sorry. Je suis très désolée.
Pardonnez-moi. That'll cover it, I think, Bex.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Wiggle controversy. I do know. So we've asked for the past few weeks since we started doing podcast trial months. If you'd like us to talk about something, let us know in the comments, and we will talk about it. We'll weigh in and give our 2 pence. I don't know about it.
Otherwise, we will just ramble about the Wiggles.
We absolutely will. So, luckily, Slammer Bell's come through and saved all of you from that, and asked us the question: what I believe it was, what are your favorite games and what are the games that got you into gaming? Which is a good
Yeah.
question. So do you want to answer it
That's a great
first?
question. Sure. I mean, when I was a kid, I spent a lot of time like watching my dad play games and stuff like that. Like sat by him and like, you know, backseat gaming, because what else do you do as a child? And I remember I played like shockingly different style of games, like in its like I played two shockingly different styles of games. I played Call of Duty and Halo when I was like early teenager, like from the ages of like maybe like 11, something like that. I was playing Call of Duty and Halo. At the same time, I was playing through all the Bratz games on PS2. Um, and I loved them dearly, to the point where when the new one came out recently, I did buy it for my
Oh,
Switch.
good. As you
And
should.
it was joyous. But yeah, I was playing like those kind of games, and it was a very weird sort of contrast between the two. I had like god, like old PC games that I found like recently. Like I found an emulator recently to let me play the Barbie as Princess Bride game, which was
Oh,
like, it came out in like, I want to say like 2000, maybe 2001.
like Freddy Fish era.
And oh yeah, it's so I'm gonna play it at some point for stream, but
Please
it's
do.
so sickeningly like it starts up and it's like, I'm Butterfly Fairy, click next, and I was like, ugh, and my
Oh,
mum heard it from a different room and she went, no, stop it, I
what are you
heard that for
doing?
enough years when you were growing up, I don't
Ah,
need to hear it again. I was like, okay.
thank you for your honesty.
Yeah, but then nothing like the kind of games I play now, obviously not the Barbie game, but like I I got into horror gaming because of Dead by Daylight. It
No.
was right at the start of the uh, global pepperoni, because we can't say what it is on the YouTubes.
Mm.
Um, and I had some friends that I'd met through Animal Crossing Twitter, because where else do you meet people who are all in the UK, and like a couple of them went to the same university that I did, and we were like, okay, we want to branch out into different games. Let's try this game called Dead by Daylight. And it was from that and playing Dead by Daylight with those people that made me start streaming. And then I streamed Dead by Daylight, and then I started playing more horror games. But if you'd have told me at like 10 that I was going to be a horror streamer, she would have laughed directly in your face, because I was banned from watching Doctor Who when I was little
Oh,
because it used to give me nightmares.
oh.
I was such a sensitive little bitch that I would have horrendous nightmares from Doctor Who episodes. I couldn't watch any scary movie. If we were at a sleepover, I'd be like, my mum says I'm not allowed to watch scary movies because I have nightmares. Like, I was that kid.
To be fair, the angels, the weeping angels or whatever they are, they're terrifying from Doctor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
They're real scary. But
Hmm.
yeah, I was a little bitch, and now I play horror games.
You do, and you're good at
And
them.
I'm alright with them. My funniest thing, I think, playing horror games is where you can tell I'm starting to get like fed up with like dying or something like that. And then the thing that's supposed to be like the big bag scary, I just like start swearing at it or calling it names or something, and I'm just like, yeah, just like move out of my way. I need to do the puzzle. Just get out of my way. But I think my favorite game of recent years was Resident Evil 8. It was a fantastic game. I absolutely adored it, and that's why I'm going back and playing all of the original ones, because I did not play them in chronological order because I wanted to see the big lady.
The big mommy.
That one, she's right there.
Fun.
Yeah.
So, what besides her? What do you think made 8 stand out to you apart from the other ones, or had you not played the other ones?
I'd played the first one halfway through, and I'd watched a lot of gameplay for like the other ones in the series. But 8 has it's an incredible storyline. It's really story driven, so you kind of go from section of story to section of story, which like as a streamer was fantastic, because you could be like, okay, I'm gonna do like this section today, and then like kind of get it over with. And it was the right for me, it was the right balance of like jump scary kind of horror to third person shooter to, well, first person shooter for Resi 8, and puzzles, there was like a nice mix between the three. It didn't feel too action heavy or too just like cheap jump scary like some indie horror games and stuff like that. And I just really loved the personality that all the voice actors did an amazing job on that game. It really brought a really, really nice sense of story to it, and I loved the DLC as well. It was great.
I've watched it played a little bit and I've enjoyed watching it. I don't know if my chops are big and are good enough for that yet, for when it comes to horror games. You know what I mean? We're working up to it.
Yeah, working up to it, or I'd suggest doing what I'm doing with one and having someone like me or like other mods and stuff like that that have played the game or know the game really well just in the voice chat with you, just like helping you if you get lost, because that was my biggest thing with Resident Evil, and it happened a lot with 8 as well, even though the map was better, was I get turned around. Same as you, I have no sense of direction in games or in real life either.
Or
no
IRL,
yeah. So I would just get lost and spend like an hour being like, I don't know where I'm going, and that would stress me out, and no. So I just now have my mods that have played the game sat in the voice chat with me, so then I come out of a door and they can see on my face I have no idea where I'm meant to be going, and John will just go, got any ideas? And I'm like, no, absolutely not, and I haven't got a single clue what I'm supposed to be doing. And they'll be like, right, like go down that hallway to the left, do you remember where that is? Oh yeah, the door. But yeah, the door. Go on, like, yeah. And like, it's a little bit condescending, but he's allowed to be. He's giving up his time to sit with me and play the game. So
do you know those like moments where you're out, like, I don't know, you might be at university where there's lots of like stairs going up and around in circles and stuff, and you could easily get lost. At least I would, where I'm like, I don't know where the front or the end of back of the building is, but you're with people who have a really good internal compass, and then like, oh yeah, if you just go over there, that'll be the moments where you're like, oh, people know what's going on and like have a sense of direction of where they are, like a compass. I don't have that, right? So
no.
It's impressive to me when people are like, oh yeah, just take a Brandon's pretty good for that. Like I just can't. So in games, especially a game that's meant to be scary, it's like it just adds that extra like, I don't want to be here moment where like I don't even know where to go to find the thing you're asking me to find. So yeah, it helps to have
you get
a little...
very stressed out in games if you don't know where the exit door is, I've noticed.
Oh yeah, no,
if
panic.
you do not know where your exits are clearly marked, you immediately start panicking. And I would just like to insert I'm gonna insert, if I can here, just the clip of Candace playing The Last of Us from a recent stream, because everyone needs to see it.
Oh no.
If you haven't, because I have never in my life, and I will quote my father when he saw this clip, said, I've never seen anyone turn Joel into a UFC fighter. And it's entitled Shift to Sprint. Or Shift to Escape. There you go. Shift to Escape. And I'm going to insert that into the
following
podcast
directions.
now.
Sprint to escape. Sprint to escape. Sprint to escape. I'm sprinting to escape. I'm sprinting to escape. Oh, there's too many. There's too many. Sprint to escape. 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 Where's the others? Hello? Hello? I'm just running in circles until I find one. Ooh, God. Whoa, yeah. Eat shit. Is that everybody? Night, night. Look how good I did. I'm scared. I'm gonna cry. No.
If you're just listening on audio, you're just gonna hear a whole bunch of panic, but when you get a chance, just click on the video to this and just have a look at what was happening there.
Oh, I never played horror games growing up or even saw them because my, upbringing was very sheltered, right? My dad had, I think, Doom at one point, which is like definitely not a game they would let me play, but I think I saw bits of it. My exposure to video games growing up was my dad had Deer Hunter on his PC, so he would fake go hunting for deer, and I would just sit on his lap or next to him watching, like, what is this? He also had like a joystick, so he did some other types of gaming there, but we had a what's it called? Like a Nintendo 64, like a So we would do Duck Hunt and DuckTales and Super Mario Brothers, that kind of thing, all the classics. And because I was the oldest sister, the oldest sibling, I always played. Like I always got to be Mario, and Sam, the middle sister, would play Luigi, and Tori would kind of watch because she was usually too young. So that was my main exposure, except for, silly flash games online and stuff. And then when I got a bit older, I got a Game Boy. um I'll never forget it. Actually, it was Christmas, and I think I was probably 10, and I really really wanted a Game Boy. I wanted to play Pokemon so bad. And I was at my grandparents' house for Christmas, and we'd gone through all the gifts, and I was happy, and we were all, but I was kind of like, oh, I guess I didn't get a Game Boy. And my nan comes up from downstairs where the deep freeze is, holding a box that's been wrapped, and I go, oh, okay. So I open it, and it's a box of, like, do you know what fudgicles are? Like fudge ice cream bar,
Yeah.
like on a stick. And I went, why? Like, why are you giving me fudgicles? But I open it, and it's like a Game Boy Color with like the Pokeball for the power light. That, yeah, I was so stoked. So I started playing those, and then I never really got into PC gaming until I was an adult. I remember playing like Dance Dance Revolution a lot as a kid, and the SSX snowboard gaming. So I don't really have a favorite game from when I was a kid, but when the pandemic more hit us,
I love her. She was great in St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh yeah,
10 out of 10.
Yep. Yeah. So when it hit, and I lost my job, and Brandon and I front loaded a PC. He's been talking about wanting one for years to potentially start making content online. And that's when I didn't know what game was going to get me into Gamer Town, so to speak. I'm sorry.
That's different from Wiggletown that we visited earlier.
Yeah, that's different. But people kept telling me that you need to play Stardew Valley. Like, you got to play Stardew Valley. It's so good. It's such a great game. But I just didn't like the animation, like the art style. For me, I was like, it's pixels. Why would I like that? Well, I started playing. I got obsessed. I dumped 200 hours in the first month or two. So that, I think, is what got me into like actual gaming was Stardew Valley. And I went, oh, like, you can really get into these games. My favorite game, I gotta say, for a long time I was saying was Portal, like Portal 1, because it just opened my mind to so many different game mechanics and puzzle things that I'd never thought about before. But I think Detroit Become Human is my all-time
I was gonna
favorite.
say, I thought it would be DBH.
It's got so much replayability. I've played, I think, 60 hours of it or something now, and I could easily play it again and again just to get different outcomes. And it's a topic I'm super interested in, and the voice acting on that too, incredible.
It really does make all the difference.
Yeah. So let's say that's my favorite, but I'm excited to play new games and maybe find another one. I do like that I'm branching out into some scarier games because it is fun and it's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I find myself funny when I'm like trying to run away in The Last of Us. Like, but I don't think I would be doing it if I didn't have help, like from you and other folks, like in the chat, being like, okay, you need to know that this is a quintessential rule of horror games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like, I think you're the same as me. I like story-based horror games. So one where there's like a linear plot line that I can follow. I much prefer that because I find them more what's the word I'm looking for? I find the achievement higher if I'm playing a game like that, and then like I get through a chapter. If I've like unlocked more of the story, it feels like more like an achievement to me than if I was playing like a one-off kind of scary game where it's like, okay, I just did it.
And
like
for
for example, yeah, like Mortuary Assistant. Great game, like great scary game, but I played it once and I never had the urge to play it again. Whereas I already want to play Resident Evil 8 again. Like, I know people who have finished the main storyline and then have gone back and seen how quickly, like, essentially tried to speedrun it. And then also the earlier games, there's usually 2 different perspectives you can play from, which give you like a slightly different version of the whole game. So it's like getting a slightly different whole ass game again that you haven't done as the other character.
That's cool.
So like you'll meet up with said character in cutscenes, but you can play as the other side of it. So I know people that have played it like each of the installments 3 times over because they played it once as the first character, once as the second, and then picked their favorite to do a third run through. and I love that replayability because it's much like I watch shows over and over again that I really, really love.
Yep.
I'm similar with like if I can find a franchise where I can just like dive back in and like relive it, I would absolutely like buzz off of that. But
Is there a game that you
yes,
play like every year, or like you consistently play it again and again? I've been doing that with Portal and Detroit
I've
Become
had
Human.
like 7 farms on Stardew Valley,
Mm-hmm.
which it's the same game every time. nothing changes.
It's Stardew Valley.
But it's Stardew Valley and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't actually think I mean, this is my third attempt at Resident Evil 1. But that wasn't because I loved it so much I wanted to play it again. It was because it frustrated me to my very core and I had to rage quit twice.
And you really want to get like work through them all, right?
Yeah. I really do. I want to know the lore because basically I know the ending lore.
With
I want to go
mommy.
back and know how
Yeah.
how we got to that point.
Yeah.
But I love horror games. I love story games. I find them more engaging than cozy games with a storyline because either their storylines are like far too real,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like there's like family, like somebody's died, or like it's all like very dramatic and you're starting a new life, and I'm like, that's just
What's
like,
the name of that one?
Wah. If there's a lot of jump cuts in this episode, don't you worry about it.
Don't sweat
It was a frazzle brain day. Wah.
Town.
Life is strange.
Life is strange. Thank you. Not telling me why. Yes, Life is strange.
Yeah.
I started that and it was heavy.
Playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to stop. I started playing it and I like got halfway through. The music in that game always gets copyrighted on Twitch.
Bad one for stream. Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And I started playing it and I was like, oh, okay, this is a lot. And there was another one with Elliot Page and Willem Dafoe that I started playing.
What's that?
There were like Elliot Page's character has like superpowers or something, and they're like being like kind of like very like 11 from Stranger Things kind of vibes.
Beyond Two Souls?
Yeah, that one.
Isn't that one done by the same people who did Detroit Become Human?
I believe so, yeah.
Right, and Heavy Rain.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So I started playing Beyond Two Souls because I was like, oh, this looks really interesting. It's kind of sci-fi, like they've got like telekinetic powers and stuff like that because you're like bound with this like entity kind of thing. Really cool. And then it got really, really, really aggressively heavy, really, really quickly out of nowhere. Like dark. And I wasn't expecting it. My chat wasn't expecting it at the time, to the point where I actually had to like go on Just Chatting and like check in with people and be like, are we okay to continue playing this game? And I ended up doing a poll about it and it ended up with mixed reviews, and I didn't go back to the game because even though a lot of people were like, yeah, it's okay, like just make sure you've got content warnings and stuff like that, which I always would, but I had to like sit in with myself and be like, am I okay finishing the rest of this game? Right. Because ooh,
I don't know if I played it.
I wouldn't.
No, really?
I mean, it's great. It was like one thing after another. Like, it starts off with like homelessness, and then there's all the trials and tribulations that come with that, and then there's like child loss, and like it just builds and builds, and it's really heavy and needlessly so in some places, I'd say. Gotcha. It's kind of like Detroit Become Human, and like you can make choices to do or not do certain things, but it doesn't clearly come up as like, this is a choice, do it or don't do it. It's just like the character will start doing it and can you stop them in time kind of vibe. Nice. And it was it was kind of a lot.
The first story-based game that I ever saw someone play, because that was never something that we did growing up, it was always just like was Heavy Rain. I watched Brandon play Heavy Rain, and that was on his like PS3 like forever ago. And I'm not sure, but I feel like I also watched him play Beyond Two Souls. So I'm kind of curious to like look it up and be like, do I remember this or do I not? I don't know. I'd play Heavy Rain again. I don't know about. Have you played Heavy Rain?
No, but my dad has. I think I watched him play it.
I did. Again, I wasn't a gamer when I first played it. Brandon and I would like switch off the controller like we talked about last week, right? And because Brandon, I think Brandon is to answer like Slimerville, he's kind of half the reason I got back into gaming because I just never had a PC. I never, The Sims 4 I could kind of play on my laptop, but not really. So when I met him, I learned Minecraft from him, and Heavy Rain was something I loved watching him play. But at the end, there's like a glitch. Do you know about it?
I do not.
I can't remember the name of his son. What is? 1 minute. Is his name Jason? Sean. It's an old game, so like this isn't obviously it's not even a feature that's supposed to be in the game. There's something that happens where the like main character, the dad, starts yelling his son's name Sean, and he's not stopping. Like he's just constantly Sean, Sean, and he's holding the kid. Like they found him. Like he's there. Sean. And I've never laughed so hard for anything in my life. And Brandon was like, I think it's a bug, and I googled it, and like sure enough, yeah, it's really funny, and I kind of want to play it again just to see if I can get that to happen.
Please make that a sound alert.
Just Sean screaming.
Sean! Yeah.
Good chat.
We're sorry if this episode was like I'm not sorry. This episode may be a little shorter and it may seem a little bit more frazzled, but
we're playing with different times to see what works,
We're it might be a slightly shorter episode than last week, but we are both streaming today because that's what we do. So yeah, bear that in mind with trying to navigate an 8-hour time difference as well as 2 streaming schedules, as well as all the things we've got going outside of stream. Mm-hmm. We're making it work, and I think we're getting it good. So
Tuesday recording works well. Are we getting it good, Baxter? Come on round. Why are we like this? We're getting it good. You can get it good too. Okay.
Anyway, happy Monday. Thank you for listening.
Happy Monday.
Yeah.
Appreciate your feedback, y'all. And your likes. Thank you for liking. Please leave a like if you liked anything we talked, even if you just like how we look. Just
give us compliments. Just give us attention. Please. That's what we crave.
Yeah.
That's why we're content creators.
I mean,
leave some more things in the comments. Thank you again, Slimer Bell, for your little question. We hope we answered what you wanted us to. And well, we'll see you next Monday.
See you in a week.
Right here, same time. Look at us. We're always late to everything we do, but these episodes haven't been late once. Tell us you're proud.
Not once.
Please tell us you're proud.
Please clap.
Please clap.
Please.